Good morning. Therwan Sannai. May the Triple Gem bless you all. Welcome to the Buddhottpada Daily Dhamma Zoom. Welcome to the Buddhottpada Dhamma Zoom. First, I would like to pay respect to Lord Buddha and our spiritual guidance teacher, Buddhottpada Arana. And then, thank you all for all our Dhamma friends for attending this Dhamma speech. Yesterday, our Dhamma friend gave us an overview about philosophy of Lord Buddha's Dhamma. That is how the mind is created. So I request all of you to listen to this Dhamma speeches again and again very carefully and try to understand the truth and what our noble friend Buddhottpada Arana emphasizes through this Sinhala and English Dhamma speeches. You are very lucky to hear these Dhamma sermons from our Dhamma friends too. Buddhottpada Dhamma sermons are different to other Dhamma talks. These Dhamma sermons are also published in both English and Sinhala in www.buddhottpadodhamma.com or www.buddhottpada.lk websites. So without taking much of your valuable time, I would like to invite our Dhamma friend to start the Dhamma talk. Over to you, Dhamma friend.
Good morning, everyone. Today, as we gather once again to explore the profound teaching of Buddhism, I'd like to take a moment to reflect on the key insights we discussed in our previous session. We delved into the nature of existence, uncovering how our perceptions extend far beyond what our senses can reveal. We explore the concepts such as Dhamma and Paticcasamuppada Dhamma, understanding how our perceptions are shaped through a complex interplay of vibration and consciousness. We also connected these teachings, Avalon Buddha's teachings, to the modern scientific ideas, highlighting the deceptive nature of our minds and the world around us, the illusionary world around us. It became clear that our sensory experiences provide only a limited view. In other words, some aspect of the world, one aspect of the world, while the deeper truths of the life remain hidden beneath the surface. So, then we emphasized the importance of recognizing the impermanence of our thoughts and the transient nature of the mind itself. So we learned how our mind becomes impermanent, anitya, the nature of anitya of our mind. By understanding the complex processes of perception of formation, we saw how ignorance can lead us to mistakenly identify ourselves and our surroundings, creating the cycle of suffering. In other terms, how our ignorance lead to uh, formation of volitions. We concluded that true liberation lies in recognizing that there is no permanent self, no enduring soul, and the path to nirvana is thorough understanding of this truth. Today, I invite you all to revisit these essential teachings as we continue our explanation. Let's go deeper into how this understanding can transform our lives and guide us towards a more awakened state of being. As you can see, people observe still, some do follow the five precepts. In Pali, it is called Panchasila, and in Sinhala we call it Pansila, which includes the commitments to abstain from killing living beings, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, and intoxication. We see many people, especially Buddhists, follow these five concepts as a mandate of their lives. But if you look closely, in each instance, is there a person who does it? If you could understand the skandha here, or in other words, when you realize the truth, the reality, you will find that there is no one here to do anything. There is just only a thought here. That is only the mind which has been created due to the rupana, the, 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 the velocity, due to the vibration. That rupana, in other words, we can call it the mind, will not last either. But unfortunately, ordinary people often get lost in their thoughts, and they take these thoughts as real. By that, they feel that they are living, that they are that they are living in this world. Some focuses on some focus on the material things, And also, others search for a deeper meaning of the life. But in reality, when we observe closely, we start to realize that we are lost in our thoughts. At that moment, at that particular moment, we understand that our mind is only the thing present. And even that is not always reliable since it is impermanent. The every moment we live is just like being on one single thought, one single mind. Even that mind is not permanent. If you see the truth in that mind, that is, if you see this, the cause and effect Dhamma, then that person will not find anyone at that moment. He does not find himself even. Then what happens to that person? He has no individuality, no personality. If one could comprehend this phenomenon, then who does that merit? As I earlier told you, most of them observe five precepts and some follow, some observe sila. If there is no one here, who does this merit? There is no one who does merit. Who sins? No one is sinful as well. This is very difficult to understand. That is the point. We should understand, but it is very hard to understand. This is very deep. When we see the truth of our existence and understand the cause and effect of life, we feel discontent, connected from others. Then what happens next? We feel like we lose our individuality and our connection to others. In such a state, can anyone really speak up? If there's no one to express thought or to sing, it becomes quite difficult to grasp this idea. It is so profound. Many people talk about the impermanence of life. Others may hold on to their thoughts and practice mindfulness. They might think they are on the correct path. But is that path truly leading to the nothingness or to the Nibbana? Or are they just wandering in the cycle of the existence? Think again. Think again. There are a lot more things to be understood clearly in the path of this nirvana. Some people believe they are always right. They never make mistakes. They see themselves as good people, and they often ask, am I really on the correct path? But they forget that they are still bound to the cycle of rebirth and death. In this world, each and every living being experience the life and the death. They don't know death is also an incident in the same illusion. As we navigate through the life, eventually we might gain insight into our existence. When we born, we don't know that we are living. We don't have an idea that we are living. As we grow up, we feel like we are living. There is some kind of a living being inside, and it lives the life. No matter how we practice the mindfulness, if we remain attached to this illusion of impermanence, we will not find the liberation, the true liberation. But Buddha teaches that the mind can find the joy in this life. However, if someone believes that life is only about the pleasure, they might find themselves lost. But when we start to see through the illusion of attachment, we can truly find the peace, the liberations. Once we recognize the suffering in our hearts, we start to seek a way out. We see the flames of desire and look for a way to escape them. At that point, we begin to approach true satisfaction and the peace of mind. This is how we find the path to liberation, through the genuine desire and the acceptance. We have to have a genuine desire to achieve the true liberation. As we know, most people do meditation. Even if we practice meditation, in simple we call it bhavana. We may still not fully understand the life, the truth. This is because we don't see the true nature of the suffering and how to escape from it. The true nature of suffering we call in Sinhala dukkha, in Pali dukkha. And Getting rid of this suffering, we call it Nissarana in Bali. The Buddha said, the mind that is happy enjoys carnal life. Someone who believes life is all about pleasure will end up with a restless mind. That's what Buddha taught us. In Pali, the mind that is happy is called Gayasita Do Somanassa. Gayasita Somanassa. Once someone believes the life is all about pleasure only, making her or his sensations more satisfied, will end up with the restlessness. That is Gaya Sita Domanas. Gaya Sita Somanasa will become Gaya Sita Domanasa. If a person realizes the truth about the life and wants to be free from this suffering, they truly have a peaceful mind. His mind seeks true happiness, not the happiness that I previously told you, pleasing his sensations. That is not the one. If he seeks the true happiness, that is Nikkammasita Somanasa, instead of just temporary pleasures. When someone understands the suffering in life and sees the inside fire of suffering, they will search for a way out, a way to escape from it. This path leads them to peaceful state of mind that is called in Pali Nikkammasita Domanasa, allowing them to choose the way to liberation. So, the true path to the freedom and the liberation, what we call in Pali is Nissarana, comes from the mind that desires it with genuine interest and calmness. However, a person can still practice meditation, follow 5 precepts, and do various things. But if they do this without true understanding, ultimately they will have a restless mind. They will become, their mind will become Kayasita Domanasa, a state of Kayasita Domanasa. Even if they have a peaceful mind, as I told earlier, if they have a Nikkammasita Somanasa and are on the path to true liberation, they might not see the freedom. They might not still they might not see the freedom or the Nibbana. It is important to understand that this peaceful mind leads to a deeper understanding that is called Nikkammasita Upeksha. understanding is what truly takes you to the true liberation. If you see it again, it starts with the normal, ordinary people. You and she stays at home, and if she comforts his or her necessary organs and keep on living, that is Gayasita Somanasa. If he or she sees the worthless of life, his mind becomes Gayasita Domanasa. Then he wants to get rid of this suffering. His mind becomes Nikkamasita Somanasa. Even he wants to get the true liberation. But if he doesn't know the actual path, he won't get the full freedom. In that point, his mind will become Nikkamasita Domanasa. Even with that mind, he cannot achieve the true Nibbana. But if he comes, his mind comes to a state of deeper understanding of what the truth is. At that point, we call it Nikkamasita Upeksha, the understanding. That understanding is what truly takes you to the liberation. I know this is a little bit confusing. If you keep on listening this again and again, you will realize what I am trying to bring up here. So, ultimately, what we need to see the truth. The external world, what we see, is not the world in reality. It is a picture that has been created in our own minds. That is, it is a loop pattern. It is created due to loop pattern, due to velocity, due to the vibration. As I told you earlier, they arise due to some cause and disappear when those causes are gone. Cause is the vibration. The cause of the vibration is the velocity, the acceleration. With the vibration, the mind is created. This is the true nature of the mind. The mind arises, and then in that moment, the mind is vanished, disappears. Show that you will gain a thorough and a deeper understanding about this reality. Yes, you really need to see this. Does the image we see come from the outside actually? No. They arise due to a cause and disappear when these causes are gone. This is the nature of the mind. Things arise and then in that moment they vanish. This is what it means to say being and disappearing in that moment. First say it is a wisdom imparting that the wisdom is called as Udayavyanyan. It is very subtle. But you must understand this being and disappearing, the incidence of being and disappearing happens at an enormous speed, demonstrating a stream of thoughts. So we can't even recognize each thought individually. It happens in such a speed. Because of that speed, we feel like it's like a flowing river that is known as Chitta Viti in Pali. Understanding the truth reveals that entire circle of existence and not just about the physical world and its suffering. By understanding this truth, it can be explained everything related to our existence. And also, when someone realizes this, they can understand the thoughts that arise and then sees very clearly. They begin to see the true nature of their minds, recognizing how they create, and how it goes off. By that, for them, it is easy to explain the entire process of existence of life. It becomes more clear to them. The thoughts arise and then disappear in a fraction of a second. The cause come and go at the same speed. If I put it in a different way, we can say the different mind consciousnesses appear and vanish in a rapid space. It's like a moment when someone looks into a mirror to see his face. Things arise into causes and sees when those causes are gone. The Buddha compared this occurrence to an incident which a dog looking into a pond. The dog starts seeing its reflection in the water. If it hadn't peeped in, there won't be a reflection at all. If the cause is there, the result will be there. If the cause is not there anymore, there won't be any kind of result. So this is how Lord Buddha compared this being and disappearing to a image that is created in a mirror. The reflection of a mirror. We often think the experiences created by our senses are real. So we often think that image that is created in in that mirror is real. As such, we have practiced doing so since our childhood. As such, we take entire things happen in the external world as real. But remember, each image and an experience we receive from the external world are just images formed in our minds. So we name it, where we name those images as Chittarupa. If all the images, sounds, light, and experiences we gain from the outside are, are attributed to Chittarupa, so then we can understand that none of them are permanent. That's why the Buddha taught all conditioned things are impermanent. All created things are impermanent. In Pali, he preached Sabbe Sankara Anicca. Since all the thoughts, the Chitta Rupa, are constructed as a result of some kind of a cause, he emphasizes that all conditions things are impermanent. However, if someone who sees this truth can escape from these conditions permanently, that is the Buddha teaching. If someone could be able to see this through the wisdom, he will be able to escape from this illusion, from this condition, from this chitta-rope. In that moment, he finds the thoughts, the chitta-rupa arise and then get vanished, making it impossible to assign them to the past, present, or future. He will find for that particular thought, it doesn't have a time. For that thought, we are unable to assign a time like past, present, or future. As with the thought, new thoughts come as variation of previous ones. If someone understands there is nothing to be taken as real in the previous thoughts either, the entire train of thoughts begins to collapse. That's how you gain your understanding of the truth of the reality. That is the way you comprehend this reality. So don't ever take that you think that your mind and the outside you see are as two separate entities. Don't ever think they are as two separate entities. It is, if you see that, if you if you take the external environment and the air or the external things and your mind as different entities, two different entities, eventually you create um, some kind of a polarity in your thought. So, if there is a polarity in your thought, there will be a power inside, and that power, that force, will be able to generate more vibrations, more thoughts. If you don't take the external and the internal mind as two different entities, there will be no two polarities are generated within that thought. That that's how your power of the thought will get disappeared. So it is so important to see this true nature of this mind. In the law of cause and effect, there's no one making this happen. I experience the world in one moment, then it changes to the next moment. Each moment is a new world for me. So you must realize that world I describe is instantly gone. This insight, this wisdom helps us to understand the fleeting nature of the reality. In conclusion, as we reflect on the insights we have explored today, let's remember the critical teachings of Buddhism that guide us towards deeper understanding and liberation. We discussed the existence and how our perceptions are often shaped by transient thoughts, leading to misunderstandings of ourselves and our surroundings. It's essential to recognize that our sensory experiences are, while vivid and limited and impermanent, the Buddha's teaching that all conditioned things are impermanent, that is, Sabbe Sankara Anicca, reminds us that clinging to any aspect of our thoughts or identities only leads to suffering of life. So, the true liberation lies in seeing beyond the illusion of permanent self and understanding the independence nature of the mind. When we grasp the concept of Patija Samuppada, the cause and effect law, we can realize our attachment to personal identities and ultimately find peace. As our noble friend Buddha and Arana always say in Sinhala, මාත් එක්ක මම ගමනක් යනවා මාව දාලා මම යන්නට යනවා, which means I started a journey with me, but I am continuing it without me. As we practice meditation and follow 5 precepts, let's do it with awareness and understanding. The mind can be restless if we engage in these practices without recognizing their deeper significance. I'm sure about that. Our mind can be restless if we engage these practices without recognizing their deeper significance. Liberation comes not merely from following rules, but from a genuine desire to understand our mind and the fleeting nature of the existence. Finally, let us embrace the wisdom, the prajna that reveals the impermanence of our thoughts and experiences. Each moment is new. Remember, each moment is new. A chance to see the world without the filters of our preconceptions. By recognizing the true nature of the mind, we can begin to break free from the cycle of suffering and move toward the peaceful state of Nibbana. By recognizing the true nature of your mind, we can begin to break free from the cycle of suffering. So that is the path to Nibbana. Thank you for your attention. May we all continue to see understanding and clarity on this profound journey. Thank you once again.
That is all for today. Today's topic was about how the mind is created. It was a very, very detailed explanation. Thank you for your valuable speech. Now you know how the mind is created as per Lord Buddha's philosophy and Buddhotpada Aryanvanse's Dhamma sermons. Understanding the mind is the crucial part to Nibbana. So we request all of you to listen these sermons very carefully and try to understand the reality. We all are very fortunate to listen to these Buddhotpada Dhamma sermons. Thank you everyone, and thank you our Dhamma friend for your valuable speech. There was Sannaya Aran Mahasa. There was Sanna everyone.